Ngozi, how long will you stay in there? Do you think this is your father's house? Chidima shouted, banging against the wooden bathroom door. If you can't wait, Chidima, go and bathe in the gutter. There is free water there. Ngozi's sharp response drew laughter from nearby neighbors. The corridor of Shanty Villa was busy as usual. Doors opened and closed, buckets clattered, and voices filled the air. Chidima planted her hand on her hips, determined to make her point. Stay there now. You think I don't have other things to do? She muttered loudly, gathering a small audience of amused tenants. Ike stepped out of his room, adjusting his shirt casually. He noticed Ada, the compound's newest tenant, fetching water from a bucket nearby. Ha! Ada, you look so fresh this morning, no? Is it the weather or is it something else? Ike asked, grinning. Ada frowned. Ike, abeg face your front. I don't have time for you this morning. The crowd laughed as Ike raised his hand in mock surrender. Ah, Ada, you've cut me deep. In the shared kitchen, Mama Chika was stirring a pot of soup while her two children ran around noisily. Chigozie, stop running. You want to scatter this kitchen, she shouted, but it was too late. Chigozie bumped into a bucket of water, spilling it all over the floor. These children will not let us rest, someone grumbled as they stepped over the mess. Mama Rose stepped out of her room, tying a wrapper tightly around her waist. She scanned the corridor, her voice cutting through the morning noise. Time is going, oh. Some of you are acting like you don't have any work today. Chidima, leave Ngozi alone before I come and handle both of you over there. The corridor quieted slightly as everyone returned to their tasks. Mama Rose's presence always brought a sense of order, but today, something unusual caught her attention. She spotted a brown envelope on the kitchen table and picked it up. As she read the letter, her face grew serious. Without hesitation, she called out, "Everybody, come out now. This concerns all of you." Tenants gathered quickly, their faces filled with curiosity and concern. Some were holding buckets, others were still dripping from interrupted baths. Mama Rose cleared her throat. Notice of eviction, she began. This compound has been sold. All residents must leave within 1 month. Silence followed her announcement before chaos erupted. Sold? The landlord has finished us, Chidima cried. This is why he's been ignoring the leaking roof, Ngozi added, shaking her head. Where we will go? Even the smallest apartments are too expensive. Mama Chika's voice quivered. I'm sure someone here didn't pay their rent on time, Ike said, his tone accusatory. Enough! Mama Rose's voice silenced the commotion. She raised her hand for calm. Arguing won't solve anything. We will hold a meeting tonight. Everyone must be there. The tenants nodded reluctantly, their worry evident. As they dispersed, the weight of eviction notice hung heavily over Shanty Villa. The day dragged on, but the usual share in the compound was gone. The residents of Shanty Villa had always fought like enemies, but deep down, they were like family, and the family didn't give up without a fight. The tenants of Shanty Villa gathered in the dimly lit courtyard that evening. A single lantern flickered in the center, casting long shadows on their tense faces. Mama Rose stood in the middle, her arms crossed and her face firm. We are here to find a solution, Mama Rose began. If we don't fight together, we will all end up on the streets. Now who has an idea? Chidima shot her hands up. Let's protest. We can make signs and block the gates. They won't dare throw us out if the whole neighborhood is watching. Ngozi scoffed. Protest? Do you think holding cardboard will stop bulldozer? Please think well. At least I'm thinking. Unlike you, Chidima retorted. Before the argument could escalate, Ike jumped in. Listen everyone, protests are fine, but we need strategy. Why don't we trick the developers into paying us some kind of compensation? If we play it smart, we can at least get some money to rent new apartments. Compensation? Mama Chika shook her head. Ike, this is not one of your schemes though. These people are serious. They will just use the police to chase us away. As voices rose and ideas clashed, Aisha, who had been silent the entire time, finally spoke. I have something to say, she began, her voice quiet but steady. The group turned to her, surprised. Aisha rarely spoke in gatherings. My late husband was related to the original owner of this land, she revealed. He told me once that the sales of this compound would not be legal without certain documents. If those papers are missing, the sales could be a challenge. The crowd buzzed with excitement, but Baba Kola, the compound's elderly caretaker, raised his hand to speak. "It's true," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "I still hold partial ownership of this land. I never signed it away because this place means too much to me. My family lived there for generations." Mama Rose clapped her hands. "That's it then. We have something to fight with. Baba Kola, you will show them your documents, and the rest of us will stand strong and block the gate. No bulldozer will enter Shanty Villa while we are still here." As emotions simmered, Ike attempted to lighten the mood. "Well, if we are going to block the gates, I'm reserving the most comfortable spot," he said, grinning. "Or maybe I'll just flirt with the developers and make them change their minds." Laughter broke through the tensions as Chidinma retorted, "Ike, your flirting can't even win Ada over. What makes you think the developer will listen to you?" The tenants nodded in agreement, their spirits lifting. Even Ngozi and Chidinma exchanged a rare smile. As the group began to disperse, Ada pulled Ngozi aside. Tears gleamed in her eyes. "Ngozi, I don't know where to go if this place is taken, no," she whispered. "I came to this city with nothing, and I've barely managed to survive here." Ngozi, taken aback, placed a comforting hand on Ada's shoulder. "We won't let it happen. We are in this together. Shanty Villa is our home." The others, overhearing the conversation, softened in their determination. The gravity of their shared struggle setting in. As the group began to disperse, the sound of hurried whispers caught their attention. Mama Chika rushed back into the courtyard, her face pale with fear. "I just overheard the security man talking on the phone. The developers are planning to bring the police tomorrow to clear us out quickly before we can act." Tension surged through the group as they absorbed this new threat. "Tomorrow, we will stand together," Mama Rose declared. "This is our home. We will not let it go without a fight." The meeting ended with a renewed sense of unity. The fear of police intervention hung over them, but it only strengthened their resolve to defend their home. As the tenants finished discussing their plans, the sound of a vehicle pulling up outside the gates made everyone pause. A sleek black car with tinted windows stopped right in front of the compound. The windows rolled down, revealing a man in sunglasses and a suit. "Good evening," the man said coolly, stepping out with an air of authority. "I am here on behalf of the developers. I advise you to vacate peacefully. Otherwise, tomorrow will not end well for any of you." Mama Rose stepped forward, ashen eye. "We don't need your threats. We cannot take what isn't yours." The man smirked. "It's not a threat, madam. It's a promise. We have every resource to ensure this demolition happens. Enjoy your night while you still can." The man's word left a chilling silence in the air as he returned to his car and drove off. The tenants exchanged worried glances. "This is more serious than we thought," Chidinma whispered. Mama Rose clapped her hand loudly. "Let them come. We will not back down." But as dawn approached, the sound of heavy machinery rumbled in the distance. The bulldozers were coming. The battle for Shanty Villa was just about to begin. At the crack of dawn, the residents of Shanty Villa stood at the compound gate, their faces set with determination. Mama Rose led the group, her head high and her wrapper firmly tied, a symbol of their collective strength. The rumble of bulldozers grew louder, and soon the developers' team arrived, accompanied by workers and a lawyer in a creep suit. The lawyer stepped forward, holding a clipboard. "You have been given notice," he said coldly. "Vacate the premises immediately, or we will proceed with the demolition." Mama Rose stepped up, her voice steady. "We are not going anywhere. This is our home." Before the lawyer could respond, the developer himself appeared from behind the group, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement. He approached Baba Kola with an arrogant smile. "Old man," the developer said mockingly, "this is progress. Your attachment to this place is holding everyone back. Take a little money and move on." Baba Kola straightened his back, his voice trembling but firm. "You think this is just land? This is where my children grew up, where my wife planted her flowers. We built this compound brick by brick. Every corner holds memory. This place is not for sale, not to you or anyone. His voice broke slightly, but his resolve remained unshaken. Mama Rose stepped beside him, her tone sharp. You talk of progress, but all you bring is destruction. These people built their lives here, and we won't let you take it away. The developer laughed, turning to the lawyer. Handle this, he said dismissively, but the lawyer hesitated. The silence that followed was heavy. The developer, realizing he might have underestimated them. The residents formed a human barricade, linking arms and standing firm. Even the children joined, clutching their parents' side. Mama Shika's youngest child held a crudely made sign that read, "This is our home." Another child tugged on a worker's sleeve, asking, "Why do you want to destroy our house?" The sight brought tears to some of the tenants' eyes and softened the workers' expression. As the tension mounted, Babakola emerged from the crowd, clutching a worn envelope. "You cannot demolish this compound," he said, his voice loud and clear. "I never sold my share of this land, and I never approved these sales." He handed the document to the lawyer, who frowned as he examined them. Behind him, the workers hesitated, waiting for instruction. The lawyer looked up, his face tight. "We will revisit this matter," he said reluctantly, signaling to the workers to stand down. "But this is not over." Mama Rose stepped forward, her voice cutting through the tension. "You've underestimated us, but let me tell you, this community is stronger than you think. We are not leaving, not today, not ever." The residents erupted in cheers as the bulldozer rumbled away. Mama Rose turned to the group, a rare smile on her face. "We did it," she said. "Together we did it." That night, Shanty Villa came alive with celebration. Plates of jollof rice were passed around, music played from old speakers, and laughter echoed through the compound. Even Ngozi and Chidima shared a plate, their chorus forgotten for the moment. Ike danced in the middle of the courtyard, pulling reluctant tenants into clumsy moves. The children ran freely, their laughter filling the night air. The next morning, Shanty Villa woke up to its usual chaos. Mr. Johnson kids chased each other noisily. Ngozi fetched water from the tap, and Uke, Eva Shama, flirted shamelessly with Ada again. Mama Rose stood at the doorway, watching the familiar scene with a contented smile. She muttered to herself, "When we fight together, we win together." Shanty Villa stood tall, not because of its bricks and mortar, but because of the people who refused to give up. What would you have done if your community faced this kind of challenge? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's celebrate the strength of unity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories just like this. Together we can build a stronger, united world. Subscribe now, because why settle for boring when you can have a sizzling hot and extra juicy here? Bye.